A civil forfeiture complaint has been filed for $3.4 million, which came from the sale of a music studio in Burbank, California. The complaint claims that the money, which ultimately belongs to Russian oligarch Oleg Deripaska, is the result of violations of U.S. sanctions. Deripaska had previously been indicted for these violations on September 29, 2022, and is currently a fugitive. Michael Koo, co-director of Task Force Klepto Capture, emphasized that individuals who have amassed wealth through unlawful means often attempt to protect their assets by using the U.S. legal system, which he called hypocritical and illegal. U.S. Attorney Damian Williams reinforced that the legal system will aggressively enforce sanctions and dismantle financial networks used by sanctioned individuals to conduct transactions in U.S. dollars. According to court records, the U.S. Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control, OFAC, sanctioned Deripaska on April 6, 2018, due to his ties to the Russian government and involvement in the country's energy sector. The sanctions came as a response to Russia's actions in Ukraine, which were deemed a national security threat by the U.S. government. Additional sanctions were imposed on his companies, including Basic Element Limited and EN Plus Group. In 2022, Deripaska and his associates, Olga Shriky and Natalia Mikhailovna Bardakova, were indicted for conspiring to violate these sanctions. The indictment alleges that, even after being sanctioned, Deripaska paid Shriky for various services in the U.S., including managing the 2019 sale of the Burbank Music Studio and covering expenses related to his children's births in the U.S. in 2020 and 2022. Deripaska originally purchased the studio in 2008 through a network of shell companies, with Ocean Studios California LLC as the direct owner. The business held an account at Wells Fargo. Between 2013 and 2018, Shriky worked for Deripaska's company, Basic Element, in New York, and helped manage the studio's operations. Even after the sanctions, Shriky and Deripaska's cousin, Pavel Azubov, continued overseeing the studio's financial matters. 3 months after the sanctions were imposed, Shriky formed a consulting company, Global Consulting Services LLC-GCS, to facilitate transactions on Deripaska's behalf. GCS opened an account in a Manhattan bank, receiving over $500,000 from Deripaska's affiliated entities between 2018 and 2019. In July 2019, $69,000 was transferred from GCS to the Ocean Studios account. Shriky oversaw the studio's sale in December 2019, handling property management, tax payments, and asset liquidation. The transaction generated over $3 million, which was deposited into the Ocean Studios account. In 2020, Shriky attempted to transfer these funds to a Russian account linked to the studio's operations or gain direct control over the account, but the accounting firm handling the money refused. By March 2021, Wells Fargo blocked the Ocean Studios account due to its ties to Deripaska. The funds in question, approximately $3,435,676 plus interest, remain frozen under the forfeiture complaint. Types of fraud: involved sanctions violations, conducting financial transactions, and business dealings in violation of U.S. sanctions against Russian individuals and entities. Money laundering, using shell companies and intermediaries to disguise the true ownership and source of funds. Financial fraud, engaging in deceptive business practices to evade sanctions and maintain financial operations in the U.S. conspiracy to commit fraud. Coordinating with associates to facilitate transactions that circumvent legal restrictions. How to detect this type of fraud: unusual business transactions, payments or transfers involving sanctioned individuals or companies linked to high-risk regions. Use of shell companies, a network of businesses registered in different jurisdictions to obscure the true owner. Banking red flags, large or frequent wire transfers between seemingly unrelated entities, especially from high-risk countries. Attempts to evade regulations, requesting alternative fund transfers or changes in account signatories to bypass banking restrictions. Involvement of third-party agents, use of consultants or intermediaries to manage transactions on behalf of a sanctioned entity. Rapid liquidation of assets, quick sales of properties or businesses after sanctions are imposed, often to move funds before detection.